Well, Steve Mignani here, doing the inspection of my 1962 Dodge Dart police car. It arrived this morning, and I'm kind of just doing the old getting to know you routine. Now, knowledge is power when it comes to anything. This is a great book about American police cars by Edwin Sanow, and he is one of the experts, one of the leading people on cop cars and fleet cars. And inside of here, I love what we see here is a picture of a 62 Dodge black and white cop car. And we know that this one is a police car because the VIN has a 9 in the second spot, which tells us it's a fleet/special build. It also has the heavy duty suspension. More on that in a few minutes in the next video or two. But in the meantime, we've already looked inside. Let us now explore the floors and what we find there. First up, here's the rear seat. This may or may not be the original upholstery. It's very bland, but again, it's a fleet car. This is not something you would have seen on a standard Dodge Dart 330 or a 440 series, or certainly not a Polara. This is very bland, has no pattern. But luckily, the seat comes right out, I think. Yeah. Whew. Okay, we're going to put this over here. Set it down. First thing you want to do on any car, especially Mopars, is make sure you look for build sheets underneath the seats, inside the springs. So what do we have here? Okay, none here, but the build sheet is quite often tucked between the upholstery and the material. But what I do see here is extra coils on these springs. These are the heavy-duty seats found in fleet and police cars. Here's a piece of foam. Look at this rat's nest. Oh boy. Nice stuff. Good stuff right there. Okay, right here, part numbers here, DPCD, DeSoto Plymouth Chrysler Dodge. This is a part number for the center bolster. This sits on top of the rear axle hump, and this is a little thing to keep the seat from puffing through. So again, heavy duty horizontal bottom. Okay, now we can look inside, maybe peek on through that. And here is the rear seat. Is this gonna come out easily? Yeah, it is. Okay, let's keep going. Okay. And again, we want to preserve, and when you take things apart like this, you want to, keep an eye open for stuff that might fall onto the ground. And again, we're looking again for a build sheet. Please, 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 please. Okay, no. Well, that's okay. The seat has the usual Texas burnout on the top. Look at this. But again, there's that generic upholstery, which may well have been the original. No pattern, get the job done, police stuff. I don't think this is reupholstered, so that's probably the original pattern. Will I keep that? Yeah. In fact, if I can clean these seats up and use them again, I will. But more than likely, the vinyl is gassed off and become brittle. First person to sit on that would probably crackle it. So I'll reupholster them if I need to. The beauty is, being no pattern, it'll be simple to reupholster them. There's no need to find vintage upholstery. That's good. Okay, let's go inside. Maybe we'll come on down low. Yeah. And then, okay. Oh, yeah. Good stuff. Now, I'll look at this stuff closely later to see if there's any coins. I'm a big coin collector. Sometimes, you find a 1909 SVDB penny and you've got yourself a couple $1,000. But, okay, let's look here. This is, oh yeah, okay. Well, a good thing, seat belt. This is the front seat belt right here. And keep in mind that American cars didn't have to have seat belts until 1965 when it became a mandate. But this is a 62, so these are the optional seat belts, which of course for police use would have been specified to keep the officer in the seat for the high performance danger driving they would have had. The rear seat passengers, I don't see back seat belts, so none of that. The floor here looks pretty decent, but up here, I hate to say it. Well, let's do this. Come on down to the bottom, look under the car. Down here, watch this. Hi. Hello. That's a bad sign. So yeah, unfortunately, come on up top and you look right here. This is part of the original, the front seat upholstery. It's kind of a double coating, but this has the rubber floor mats. This stuff right here, okay? I love this because less is more. And this is like a black pattern right here. This was once soft and pliable and rubbery in 1962, but it has since gassed off and become as brittle as a potato chip. It also did something really ugly. It trapped the moisture between the metal floor pan and the inner surface of that. So this car has begun to rust from the inside out. But the crazy part is the quarter panels, the rockers, the frame rails, the underhood, the cowl, all of that's mint, beautiful, which is what really matters. Those are the structural parts of the car. Those are the bones. This is merely connective tissue. So there are kits. They're actually the floor pans you can get. I'm going to strip this stuff out of here, and I will weld in the floor pans to repair this. But yeah, I was hoping we get lucky and the floors would be just as nice. But this car sat on a patch of grass in the Texas prairie in Big Spring, Texas for at least 20 years. And you know, the rubber floor mat and the moisture, despite the fact it was in Texas, yeah, we got a rotten floor, but that's, you know, that's okay. You can't be all roses. Next up, we're going to go, well, in the trunk. That might not be right away because I can't fit through here, but let's go ahead and remove this cardboard divider panel. This is something you'll find on all Mopars except for A990s. But let's get this up and off of here. And, okay. All right, so the trunk on this thing, let's go around to the back. That's the only way to get into the trunk of this thing. Why? Well, the trunk's beautiful, by the way. I don't have the key. There's no key, so I can do one of two things. Well, one of three things. If I was a butcher, I'd get a screwdriver and a hammer, whale that thing out of there, smash it up, dent this region here, and then get a screwdriver straight up and down, turn it to the right, 90 degrees, would pop right open. But I'm not a butcher, and plus I don't want to mangle this thing. I could then call a locksmith who probably could do a little test, you know, a little wax tumble or whatever they do, open this baby up, or we can find a small person who would go through there and with a pair of pliers come to the back of this, turn it, up would go, and if I was nice, I'll let that person out. So one of those two things will happen. I'm not going to bash this with a screwdriver. But here at the back of the car, let's continue our look-see. Being a base Dart, not even a 330, not a 440, not a Polara, being a base Dart, this thing has no chrome nor dormants at all, just Dodge right here. The gas tank is behind the plate. And here's the cap. The original cap's still here. That's kind of cool. These often are missing or gone. It just speaks to the originality of this thing. It smells a bit like gas. The good news is you can get reproduction gas tanks. And no, I would never, ever try to use a tank like this in a car that I cared about because there's all that junk inside of that. You'll never boil it out. So you replace the tank, and they make reproduction tanks for these things, so that's good. The rear bumper is quite nice. You know, I'm not going to try and make this car purdy because I like stuff that shines from the inside out. So this rear bumper, it's good to go. Another detail I love on this thing is the single exhaust pipe. And again, that was something found with the 318 two-barrel, but the original downturn, the little gooseneck face, that's there. And underneath this thing, the frame rails and stuff look really nice. So the next move on this puppy, we're going to jack it up and find out what we have in the way of brakes and suspension. Being a cop car, it should be special. Stick around, and if you like this video, be sure to subscribe to the Steve Yanti YouTube channel. Tell your friends, share it, ring the bell, whatever they do, and stick around. There's a lot more to come.